Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. I was just explaining to full government Madison, full
Ugh.
government name. I am like dying. My throat is a little bit sore today. I don't know what's happening. So I apologize. I will try not to cough into the microphone, but I will do my best. But sometimes, you just get like a cough attack and it's just like it's a bit chaotic and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh yeah, I have like the PTSD from school when you start coughing in class and you're like
It's so,
trying
and
not
you're
to
like you're really trying to like not be
cry.
that bitch. Guys, go
You're
to
poor.
YouTube. I just did a great face. This is going to be a facial expression episode. I can just
Mhm,
feel it
mhm,
because I started off what in the first 60 seconds doing an insane face.
mhm.
Yeah, facial episode. Let's talk about how in relating to school, there was this kid with whooping cough in elementary school, and it's like very contagious. It's like probably a respiratory illness, whatever. I don't really know, but it was very contagious. So he couldn't come to school for like X amount of time. And then you just have this like terrible residual cough.
Mhm.
The trauma he probably experienced, like trying not to cough in class. Cause like when you have a cough attack, everybody's just like, they get grossed out, especially in like post COVID. Like if someone's coughing, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like I cannot be sick. Little children coughing. I'm like, close your goddamn mouth. Like just
Oh, I
how
know it's like that full put the meat
vampire.
up
I'm
with
like,
that
oh my God. Like
face.
I will literally go to Ben's face and I just like put my hand over it and then I'm just like, okay, sanitizer because I'm like, this motherfucker is coughing all over these goddamn toys in a public place. And I'm like, give me the ick, bro. Give me the ick. But anyways, I will try not to publicly embarrass myself by coughing into the microphone. I will do my best. I'll be like over here as I'm like talking now. I'm like, oh, do I have to cough?
Speaking of microphones, I have not used one in so long for the podcast, and I'm like,
Where is it?
in my box right there. I just haven't felt like it's just like such a hassle, and like honestly, I don't even like the sound of my microphone. Like I freaking hate it actually.
Yeah.
It like picks up. I don't can't remember exactly why I hate it, but I hate it. So I'm just like I haven't used it in so long. I'm like, do people want it? I don't know.
It's my security blanket. Why is my computer not charging? I just noticed that that's
We have
probably
a good
needs.
microphone, so that I understand that.
Well, I like holding the arm. Like
Mm,
I have an arm
mm,
on it. So for some reason, like I either hold my phone in my lap, like I just like, or I'll like pick up a pen. It just
mhm, mhm.
allows me to not get distracted. Or else like if I'm not touching something, I'll like hear a sound and I'm like, what's going on? Like the brain is braining. I don't know what she's doing.
The
Is it
brain.
hyper caffeinated? Is it lack of sleep? I don't know.
It's one of the 2.
Probably a combination. Shout out. Hot list of hate. I have something to bring
Wait,
up.
pause.
Oh, sorry. She
I'm
likes to give a recap of what we're going to be talking
well,
about.
I'm sorry, but I like it for my brain. It keeps
That's
me
good for your
organized.
brain. For my brain, I'll allow it.
It keeps me organized. The listeners know what they're gonna get. We're covering hot lists of hate. Allie
Yes.
has a lot of anger this week. I don't have any, so it's all for her. Kidding.
The
Um,
bitch.
what we're excited about this month, and then the
Yeah.
DM conversation I had that we didn't get to last episode. Was it last
Yes.
episode?
It was an episode ago, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
And Maddie brings the heat with the DMs. Um I apparently have the brain of a squirrel, a mouse, something, and I have to like if I like am trying to remember a conversation, my mom just texted me, "Made it to South Africa."
Your
Slay
mom's in South
woman.
Africa?
Yeah, I need to put my notifications on Do Not Disturb. My sister and my mom are
Oh,
there
wedding.
for a wedding and
Yes.
the wedding is next Friday.
Oh, how
So they're
fun.
there for a week. They go to the wedding and then they'll be there for a week and then they're going and meeting up with my mom's friend and her daughter. So
Mm.
it's like a mother-daughter trip and
Oh,
they'll be there for
fun.
another 2 weeks. So
Oh.
yeah, so I gotta go feed my mom's fish and like clean the tank because my dad can feed them, but I fear he will not totally know how to clean it just because
Mhm.
it needs to be done very diligently because RIP, we did lose a fish and I don't know why.
What kind of fish?
They're goldfish. They're beautiful. Like they
Like
are not like your classic, well, goldfish grow to the size of the tank.
Wow.
So if you have a big tank, you will get a big goldfish. And
Damn.
they're not just like orange goldfish, like they're really, really pretty.
Mm. You have
And
to send me
me
a
and
picture. I want to see them.
I'll send you, I'll send you. Me and Kate were eating dinner. I was there a couple weekends ago
Hmm.
and we heard this noise. I was like, was that you? I was like, did you just like scrape your teeth or did you swallow weird? And she was like, no. And I was like, what the fuck was that? I go over to feed the fish. What do I see?
A dead goldfish?
It floated to the top. That noise I heard was its last breath of air, the oxygen coming out. It was
Oh,
like a or
oh,
something. Like it literally, it was like the air coming out of it. Yeah, it died. I have no idea why. So I really cannot let my mom come home to more dead fish because that would just be sad. Not even that she cares, but I'm like, she was just like, oh, I was like, Mom, that's like fucking weird. Like, be attached to
I,
your animals.
at least they're easy to like get a new one. It's a goldfish.
But it was disgusting. I had to like fish it out. And then I was
Mhm.
like, what do I do with this? Like, obviously, I need to flush it, but
Mhm.
this is just awkward. And then Kate was like not being helpful because she was grossed out. And I was like, well, I'm kind of grossed out. Like, come on, be fucking supportive. So
Mm.
if I have to fish out more, fish out more dead fish, you'll hear about it. So that is my tangent. That's my
Um,
tangent.
real quick, your Wi-Fi is spotty. You're
We have
kind
been
of
having
like
Wi-Fi problems. I
you're
will do my best. If it is terrible, you have to let me know because I have full bars.
well, it's just like your face is very slow to react, but your voice is fine. So
Okay,
like
then this might not make it to YouTube if it is that lagging.
it wasn't, and then all of a sudden we start and it's like lagging central. So it's just now we're back.
Okay, I don't know. I had to unplug the router 3 times yesterday. We
Love.
pay a shit ton for Wi-Fi because James games and all that. I think it's just the provider.
Mm,
So
mm.
annoying.
Funny story about fish also. I was watching a fish for my friend and her beta. It was like 7+ years old. His name was Prince, and he like died on the second day. Like he was just
Ugh!
really fucking old. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And she was like, it's not your fault. He was so old.
He was so old. Oh my God. Shout
It
out to
was just
Prince.
I know, it was fun. He was pretty, yeah, it was funny. So I like cleaned out the tank really nice for her because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not even watching your fish. And but yeah, those were the days. Um, but what did you interrupt me when I was telling what we were we already covered
DM
that.
conversations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hot list
So
of hate. What we're excited about this month, DM conversation. So let's jump into
go.
hot
Hot
list of
list to
hate.
hate, you guys. I freaking hate when you go to a restaurant and they say they have gluten-free options. They ask you, is it an allergy? Is it a preference? I say allergy and I start to eat something and I feel like bloated and gross. And I'm just like, this definitely was not right. This was
Mhm,
not safe. Whether
mhm.
it was cross contamination, I can handle cross contamination. Like if it's like a crumb, right? Like I try not to share the same toaster as people, but if it's like I have frozen ass bread, like I'll use the toaster and I'm just
It's
like,
all
we'll see what
gluten-free
happens.
bread is like frozen.
Yeah, like it's fucking hard as a rock. It's awful. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? But no, I'm eating this pasta.
Uh,
To be fair, I do not blame the waitress. Like, I'm not going to blame the server. If they're
yeah,
writing it down, the kitchen needs to be paying attention.
correct.
I ate pasta. I was like, this is good. This is good. Then all of a sudden, I was like, ugh, this is like all literally, I looked like pregnant. My stomach was so hard. I was like, I am
Oh,
in pain. So I stopped eating it and then I looked up reviews of like on a gluten-free website after because I had called, they said it was like good, we have a lot of options, blah blah blah. And
mhm.
all these people were like I got sick, I got sick, I got sick. And I was like, should have done that
Oh.
before. Like I usually do, but like if they say they have options and they're careful,
Mhm.
then like I'm gonna trust that. And I was so uncomfortable for days. And that's
Uh,
just my beef. Like I don't want to have to just get a salad, right?
yeah,
Sometimes I'm in the mood and I want a really good salad, but sometimes I don't want that to be my only option. It drives
yeah,
me crazy when people are like, just get a salad. I'm like, then you get a fucking salad because you're eating this
yeah.
really nice meal at a nice restaurant and I'm
Mhm.
like, I have to get just like a salad because that's the only option.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't want it if it's the only option. If I want a salad, I'll get the salad. But if I want like something good, like a poke bowl, or that's just the first thing that came to my mind. That should be gluten free. Um,
Well, I guess
anything.
it depends if you get, like, soy sauce.
Right. Well, I'm always like, no soy sauce. And then they'll
Mm.
be like, oh, we have like gluten-free soy sauce. And I'm like, then bring it to me, baby. But it's just annoying and like it's just I don't know if people are like just think, oh, it's just a preference. It's fine. They're not gonna care. They're not even gonna notice.
I know.
Um, but I notice. I notice. It treat it like a fucking nut allergy or something. Like treat it like I'm gonna go into anaphylaxis because like
You
I'm
basically
in
are.
pain. Like I'm literally in pain. Like I'm
Yeah.
sitting on the toilet praying to the gods, laying on the floor, heating pad. It's just like not it's not a cute moment. And so that is on my hot list to hate. I will not be returning to that restaurant. If I do, I'll go and get a Diet Coke.
Rip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was a cute place. And I know I left in pain. Like I was
Was it
driving,
okay.
huh?
Was it close to your house?
No, it was so it was near, it's like a half hour away from my parents' house, but they like keep
Mhm.
their Christmas decorations up until like the end of January. And we're like, oh, this will be fun. We like made a reservation months prior because like everybody goes for the lore of it all.
Uh-huh.
Um, definitely not worth it. The company was great. I
Mhm.
had a glass of wine, I had a Diet Coke. That was great. Food was not great.
Mm.
I will say, they did have really good whipped cream because the
Ah,
girls got a dessert and I couldn't eat anything, but there was like whipped cream off the to the side. And I was like, let me just take a scoop that's not touching anything. And that shit was good. But
that.
yeah, hot list to hate. If you say you have gluten-free options and you ask me if it's an allergy, take care of me, please. Like, just please take care of me. Protect me.
I agree. I agree. Oh, I have a good hot list of hate, but it's like
Yeah.
it's really just like an inconvenience thing. So, long story short, I had to donate my car. Never did that before. It's just a good learning experience.
Yeah.
Didn't know this. If you ever have an issue with your battery where they say it's an electrical issue and they can't find where the leakage is, don't even try to figure it out. It's a lost cause because the effort it would take them to go through all of the wires to find the leak in the wire to the battery is way too much time, money, and effort. So don't do it.
It's also, I was talking to James about this. He was like, why would they let her
I
continue to
know.
drive it? Like, that's
I know.
really dangerous. And I
I
was
know.
like,
Yeah, it's dangerous. The mechanic, I finally found
waste
a
of
good
money.
mechanic. Friend of show, Lindsay Reichart, gave me her mechanic. Bless this man. He was like, "It's not even worth it." I was like, "Thank you, sir, for telling me," after I went to how many people. So anyway, yeah, it was not I should not have been driving that car. Anyway, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna donate my car," because when you donate your car, they sell it to an auction. And then when they sell it to an auction, if it's over 500, you can get up to like if it sells for like 400, you'll get up to $500 off your taxes. But if it sells over, they'll go for that price. So I'm like, sell more than 500, please,
Yeah.
and then I can put it on my 2025 taxes. But anyway, I go through. I'm like looking for a good charity that's local to my area, trying to like do my due diligence, to find something good. And when I tell you the process of like figuring out like how like in Pennsylvania you have to change the title of the car and it's different for every state. We have to like write down exactly who the charity is, their exact address, everything. And if you put the wrong thing, spell something wrong, you have to get a new title and it's like $75 to get a new title. When I tell you the process of trying to find the freaking name and address of the charity, when I was talking to the charity, I wanted to like off myself. Like you would think it would be very simple. They'd be like, "Oh, you're talking to this charity. Here's our name and address." It was not. It was not. finally, after many, many phone calls later, I find the name. But like, I don't know, my hot list to hate is just like, if you're a charity, like, why wouldn't you have that locked down? Here's exactly who,
That's
like,
like
it was
low key some shady business.
maybe, who knows? But it was
Like,
just
but
like,
why is this not accessible? With
yes. And they're
mm-mm.
like, we can't tell you that. I'm like, what is that? What is this world? Like, it took me so long to figure it out.
Why can't they tell you? They
I don't
couldn't,
know. So like
they
the
didn't
charity,
expand? You didn't ask?
I was just like, give me the so the charity I
That's
went,
bizarre.
they're like the broker and they're giving it to this charity. So I had to
Mm.
find, it was just such a fucking process. Figured it out finally. My car is gone. So now I'm just waiting to hear back what it sells for eventually. But
Right.
it was just such like, you would think like, to me, like, let's be organized. Like, let's have the name for them. So when they do that, because in Pennsylvania, you have to have that before you donate it. You can't just, because like someone, let's say I gave them a blank title, someone could find that title and write their name on it, and then let's say they commit a crime in my car, then I'm liable for that damage. So you have to be just very diligent in Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
like how you do all that stuff. But it was just such a process. So now the car's gone, we're good. But just hot list to hate charities, like have your stuff down pat. What are you doing?
Well, that's a lot of effort.
It
Just
was.
if it's shitty, like I had a really shitty car. We've talked about this on the podcast, the Gold Bullet.
Hmm.
Just junked that shit. When it was like as I'm like having these trials and tribulations, I was like, Dad, just get fucking rid of this car. Like junk it and give me the cash. Like you figure out how to do that and junk this and then give me
Hmm.
the $500 because I cannot be inconvenienced by this car anymore. It like tried to kill me and no
No,
one gave a shit. No one gave a shit. My dad's like, that's crazy. And I'm like, a bitch, crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Let's have a little bit more like emotion. But no, I think he's just used to like us having like crappy cars. So it's
I
just par for the course. But yeah, I
yeah.
hate that too. Be
Mm.
organized. What is the fucking problem? Give me the information. I'm trying to
Do a good thing.
please just help me.
What are you looking forward to this month of February?
Oh, goodness. I kind of like how February is a little bit of a shorter month, honestly, because January always feels like an eternity.
Mhm,
We've got 5 weeks.
mhm,
There's a lot going on. There is, uh, I feel like you're always exhausted post holidays. And
mhm.
then it's just like January drags. So February, I'm excited. It's a short month. Um, Honestly, I think I have literally no idea. I have to, chug along with wedding planning, but February, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I just need the month to be good. Like
Summer month.
January is exhausting. I can't anymore. I'm done. February is gonna be love and light, and we're gonna just enjoy chocolate and good energy and maybe sleep more. I think
I like that.
February is just gonna be like it's my month of love and self-love and just like give me all the good stuff. And 28's a good number. I like the number
Mhm,
28. It's
mhm.
round, it's divisible by 4, is it? Yeah. Um, I like numbers like that. It's just good.
Mhm.
We've got 4 solid weeks. I feel happy about that. It's
I like
calming to my brain. I need February. I always love February. We usually do a ski trip, but because my mom's in South Africa, we're not doing a ski trip. So that's a bit of a bummer, but that's okay. James and I will probably go do a little weekend ski
mhm,
trip because we just need that. It's just February needs
mhm,
a little break.
mhm.
November, December, January, a lot. February is our recovery girl. We're like, girl, take care of me. And February's like, I got you. Like I'm feeling that. And it's your birthday. It's a lot of people's
Mhm,
birthdays.
mhm.
It's James's brother, James's dad, James's
Wow,
uncle, my
wow,
mom,
wow.
your birthday,
Yep, that's high on the list.
Cupid's birthday. I think that's it. Yeah, but it's a lot. It's like there's a lot of remembering that I need to do. So Google Calendar it is.
Yeah, I'm a Google. One thing I do hate about Apple Calendar is that, like, if you have an
Ugh,
old
I do
contact, we
not
talked about
use
this.
Apple.
Well, no, no, I don't use Apple Calendar either, but when you have a contact in your phone and you put their birthday and then you're
Ugh,
like, "Okay, I don't wanna know this contact anymore," like, stop showing me their birthday. How do
stop
we
it.
how
I
do
don't
we
care.
that should be the next update. I don't need to see my boss from like 10 years ago who I never talked to. I don't need to see their birthday.
Yeah, I think you just have to like delete the
He
contact.
did.
And it's still showing up?
Yes, let me
No, that's offensive. No,
it
no,
is.
stop it right now.
Let
I
me
don't
check.
want to know. I don't want to know.
Well,
Like
let me
there are
check.
certain people in my life that I don't need to reminded like that they exist.
Still
That's
there.
fine,
His
you know?
contact gone. Birthday still there.
No, that's offensive. They're doing something. I don't like it.
Trust me, it is offensive. Every year I'm like,
That's on the hot list to hate. Get your shit together. Get these people's birthdays off my calendar. No, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
um, what am I excited about? My birthday this month. We are going to go ahead.
Yes. No, you have birthday plans, right?
I mean, nothing crazy.
Wait, when are you going to New York?
March.
Oh,
I
okay. I was
think
getting confused.
yeah, next year for 30, I'll do something like actual, like
Yeah.
maybe I'll go to like there's a really cool like not resort, like wellness retreat place
Retreat,
in Arizona. I see it all over TikTok. I'm like,
Sedona.
Sedona.
Why? Shut the fuck up. Why was I literally thinking you should go to Sedona? As soon as you started saying retreat and wellness, like I am not even kidding you. You
Let
go
me
for my
guess.
30th.
Did
I
you see
literally almost said you should go to Sedona.
did you see who recently just went?
Who?
The girl who Kylie Jenner copies all the time.
Oh, JC?
Yes.
It's
She went for her
Kendall. It's
30th.
Kendall, by the way, but
Oh,
yes.
Kendall.
But I
Yeah.
love her. I love her. No, everybody has a beautiful experience there. That
I
would be
think
amazing.
I think I might do that for my 30th. I'm like, this year we're not worried about big trips, even though I do want to be international for
But I feel
Christmas.
like you glazed over the fact that like we were thinking the same thing.
Well, we're always in the same
I
brainwave.
know, but like that's crazy.
Okay, I did kind of glaze over that.
You glazed
Sorry.
over it a little bit. That's why we're here, you guys, because we're like, we get it. We get it. So
Um,
you want to go international this year? It's just, I mean, but New York's kind of like, that'll be like a little late birthday moment.
yeah, I mean, I'm not counting it as my birthday. I'm just counting it,
You
but like,
should.
sure, why
Any
not?
place you go, just be like, it's my birthday. And
Oh,
they'll
I'm
be
gonna
like,
do that for sure.
yeah, fuck yeah.
But no, for the 30th, I'll do something fun. I'm probably gonna do something like towards the end of the year for a couple months, international maybe.
So
So
fun.
we'll worry about that then.
Yeah.
But birthday, we're going to a really fancy Italian place that everyone that I know, like who loves Italian, goes to. It's like a 5-course meal. So I'm excited for that. We'll see how it is, but they make like everything. Like they have one of those like huge tubs of cheese, and they're making like the fresh pasta like in the tub.
No,
So
no, no. Oh my
I mean,
God.
lactose intolerant. I don't do gluten. I will be not lactose intolerant that day, and I will be doing gluten that day.
Fine. It's fine. It's
Fine
for
for
the
me.
plot. Oh my God, that
Yeah.
sounds so good.
I know. And then we're going to it's like an early reservation because the crappy thing about having a birthday around Valentine's Day is that reservations are bare.
Yeah.
There's none around. So we're going the week after my birthday, which is fine. I don't care. But then we're going to a jazz thing after, like in the strip kind of nearby. So I'm excited for that. We are interviewing our dating coach next week. I'm excited for that. Just talk to her, her story, how she almost died. Like, there's a lot to talk about with that. So I'm excited. What else? Um, December, end of December to January was effing insane for me. So
Yeah.
February is also like my slow down. Like, I'm just like,
Yes.
give me a goddamn breath. Like, slow down month. I'm reviewing my blood work and my hair test work. Probably a week after this comes off. So, gonna be making some changes. So I'm excited for that. What else? Is there anything else I'm excited about? Mm,
Honestly, I need to turn this down. February, I like that we're just giving her a moment to be fucking relaxed. Like,
mhm. Yeah.
it's been a lot. It's been a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, I'm going finally getting back into shooting. I've just been so it's been chaotic. Like, we'll talk about it one day, but like things were changing and like in the priority list, things that were not included, Spanish and shooting. Those things were not included. So we're
Hmm.
slowly getting back into those things. So I need to clean my gun this weekend. That is a for sure thing that I haven't done it yet. Gonna follow a YouTube video, but getting back into shooting, I'll be going to the women's class. So excited to see how terrible I got in the past couple months.
How rusty you are. But I mean, to speak to that with like working out, right? Even if you haven't done it in a while, you still
Mhm.
have that muscle memory. You're not
Mhm.
as far off or bad as you
Mhm.
think you are, or even when you first started. Like, you know what you're doing going into it. Maybe you take it a
Yeah.
little bit slower. You look at your form, like, you'll click right back into it.
100,000,000%. I mean,
It's
and
like
like,
riding a bike. You know, I have like, okay, here's the thing, you guys. This is just so embarrassing. My bike got stolen like a while ago. Shout out. Literally stolen from my parents' house because like we lived in an apartment. So I was like, where am I gonna put this fucking bike? And so my mom has like a city bike and she has like a mountain bike. The city bike tires are like this big. They are freaking
mhm.
tiny. I tried to ride that. I like literally almost like it's getting back on the bike. Oh, it's fine. You'll remember it. And I'm like, why do I suck? Like this, it was embarrassing. I was like, this is literally embarrassing. Why can I not ride this bike? And then I did her other bike and I was like, okay, like that was a little bit embarrassing. Like I feel silly. But the tires were so small. I was like, oh, this is mortifying. So
Mhm.
maybe this summer I'll get a bike because I literally haven't had a bike since it was stolen. And I'm just like, when am I like, I don't want to, like, I don't want to ride a bike by myself. That just seems boring. But James has a bike. So maybe we'll get back into our biking era.
When I come up,
We
we
should
could go
bike.
biking. Hopefully, I'm very freaking diligent. I just went to my first physical therapy, like after the evaluation.
Oh, yes.
I went to the first one, so and he was like, so the evaluation, he just gave me like figured out what was going on, blah blah blah,
Right.
and gave me homework. And then and that was like, you tell me to do this.
What did
I
exactly did he say?
like the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, both. So when you have hypermobile joints, like I do, when you hurt a joint and you start to lose mobility, you don't want to just get that joint back to normal. You need to get it back to hypermobility to match the other appendage.
Yeah.
Because if not, then you're going to be uh, um, using the other leg to compensate. So when I went to physical therapy 10 plus years ago to fix the initial partial tear, they got me back to a normal range of motion, not to full hypermobility. So
Okay.
my right knee has been taking the brunt of everything when I walk, when I jump, when I do anything. So
Mm.
my right knee has been like exploding, so to speak, and that meniscus is like getting like we're worn the fuck out.
Yeah.
And the left knee is the culprit. So he looked at it, he's like, yeah, there's swelling, hopefully 3 to 4 weeks it will start to come down. And the range of motion is not where it needs to be.
Okay.
So I'm doing some hamstring stuff that focuses on the inner like hamstring. It's very weird. It like, feels totally different. And then a lot of my PT and rehab is basically just forcing my knee into hypermobility. So,
Okay.
like, one of the movements I have to do, and I do it every morning, is I put my foot underneath a foam roller, like my heel or like a pillow, and then I wrap my knee in ice and I'm sitting on the floor, and then I put a weight on top of my knee. So it literally pushes my knee down. It's so painful. I hold it for 10 minutes and yeah, it fucking sucks.
I don't like the visual of that.
No, it's so painful. So I know.
Ugh.
But when I went back, it was only like I went on a Friday and then I went back on a Wednesday and he was like, "Oh, wow, we got some more range of motion," because I'm like
Oh,
fucking hammering.
slay.
I know. I'm like hammering my knee.
Oh,
I know. So hopefully soon, like I even waking up, it's less sore. So it's
oh, good.
moving in the
That's
right
good.
direction. But like, yeah, tell me what to do. Like I've been dealing with this since I was like 17, 18. So like
Yeah, you need to get it good.
I'm ready to for this to be done because if I want to be like traveling a lot, I can't be in
Yeah.
Spain and be like, my knee.
No, no. What the fuck is the quality of life there? Like we
Yeah.
work on ourselves, we prioritize our health, and then to have like an inconvenience like that. It's like I
Mhm.
do all of this work and like
Yep.
now I got to put on a fucking knee brace when I'm trying to like
Yes.
climb all
Yes.
over the city and now
Yes.
I can't even walk comfortably. No, that's not the
Yep.
vibe. Not the
Yeah.
vibe.
So hopefully I'll get some more updates. But yeah,
Good.
I'm like committed. He's like, oh, like in a few months, we'll go a couple every week for a few months and then
Yeah.
revisit from there. I'm like, I'll come 3 times a week, bro. Like, don't test me. I'll come more.
Oh my God. This reminds me, I was having a conversation with Kelsey. She's my coach. I don't know if you still work with her in any capacity, but we were talking about injuries and she's like, I'm talking to people and they're like, "Oh, I'll recover. The recovery is 8 weeks. I'll recover in 6 weeks." And she's like, "No, your body is your body. You are not going to recover faster than
I
we
can
talk
see you
about." And
saying
you
that.
just gave me like a flashback of that because you're like so fucking determined. You're like,
Mhm.
6 weeks, I'll do it in four. It's just so
Well,
funny,
also
but
shout
good. That's really good that
yeah. So
you're
I'm
actually seeing
excited. I
updates or
trust me. I was like,
progress.
I'm a mess, like, and so yeah, it's just yeah, that's the like why do all this work? Why try so hard to take care of my body if I'm not going to like upkeep it and all those things. Like,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
I feel like I said before, but my uncle, his friend has an apartment in Paris and there
Yeah.
I think it was around the Olympics and he was like, "Oh, do you want to come up?" And he was like, "Oh, my knees just I can't make it." I'm like, "No, that is not going to be me."
No.
He's
Yeah.
in his late 50s.
No.
And he never exercised. He kind of rode a recumbent bike here and there, but I'm like, that's not gonna be me.
No.
We're not gonna be in our 30s, like my knee is fucking killing me. It's gonna be fixed. We're gonna be good. So
Yeah.
um but yeah, but shout out I want to say to Kelsey is this is a good sign. This is like a side tangent before we get into that DM thing we were going to talk about. But this is a good sign of a coach because I was working with Kelsey for
Mhm.
my training and we were talking about my knees a lot. Like, this is happening. What do we do? And we talked about it. And she goes, this is actually beyond my scope as a
Yep.
virtual coach.
Yep.
She's like, you need to be seen in a physical therapist office.
Yep.
And that's the what am I trying to say? That's a sign of a good coach. She could only take me so far. We fixed so much with my low back pain, with my
Yep.
breathing, with my pelvic floor, but I needed hands-on therapy for my need to get fixed, and she told me that, and that's exactly what I did. So, if you ever had someone like I saw a thread the other day, and it was like, there's no one dumber than like a brand new coach that gets certified. Like, you think you know fucking everything, you
Mm.
don't.
No,
You
you
know
don't know shit. You don't know shit. And that's okay.
yeah,
We've
I thought we're talking from experience. We're talking from
literally,
but that's a sign of
um,
a good coach when they tell you that, "Hey, this is beyond me. You
yep.
need in-person," and Kelsey is a doctor of physical therapy.
Yeah,
Like,
she's incredibly intelligent, but
yes.
there are times when you need hands. You need
Yes.
physical
Yep.
hands to see what is happening.
Yep.
And that is the ego being set aside right there.
Yep.
That is what you want, you hope to have in
Yep.
a mentor or a support system when they can say, "Hey, this is beyond and this is what you can do."
Yep.
That you should respect. And it's never like I've never felt ashamed or embarrassed to be like, I don't know. But I
Mhm.
do know people that do know because I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and just be like, oh yeah, let's try this stuff. And I'm literally talking out of my ass. Like,
And the not the worst part is that, like, if she would've said, "Oh, yeah, I can fix it," I would've believed her because
of
I had so much
course.
trust in her.
Yep.
So, that's why it's so important to have someone knowledgeable, to have
Yep.
someone you can put their ego aside and get help, to
Yep.
have someone that, you trust them and their
Mhm.
judgment, all those things. That's, like,
Yeah.
is willing to do what's best for the client. I mean, I've talked to people in the DMs, and they're like, "I have XYZ going on." I'm like, "I am not the person for you."
Peace
Here's
and love.
someone
I will not touch that with a 10-foot pole. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to help you. That just means I
yes.
know I actually can't help you. And
Yes.
that's okay. Like,
Yep.
I'd rather be straight up honest, but I oftentimes I can come from a place of like, let me refer you. Let me
Mhm,
do this because I
mhm.
can't help you. And that was really brave of you to send me a message.
Mhm.
I can't help you, but I've got a great network of people that are qualified. And
100%.
that's just like ladies helping ladies. Like just like if you can't help someone, then you probably know somebody that can. And I love that.
I mean, I've gotten DMs multiple over the years about asking for, like, um, diet plan just diet all encompassing, not weight loss,
Yep.
but, like,
Yep.
nutrition plans for cancer, and I'm like, "Ma'am,
Oh,
I love that you, like, think I know this, but I don't.
yeah.
Let me."
Yeah.
There was someone I referred to a couple for that worked with cancer patients, but I'm like, "This I can't touch this. You
Yeah.
need someone who's well educated in that realm of that world." But yeah, that's super important. But before I forget, so the DMs we're talking about. So I was talking
Yes.
to this
Yes.
girl, and she was following me, and I just wanted to give her, like, I like to give my followers, like, just my free guide because, like, you're spending your time watching me. I'm going to give you some for free. Why not?
Yeah.
And she got my free guide, my lean body meals guide, and I asked her, like, "Oh, what are your goals right now?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't really look at my nutrition." I go, "Oh, okay, like, why what do you mean?" "Well, I don't look at my nutrition, but I want to eat balanced." And those are like two separate things. And we kind of were diving deeper into, I'm like, what does balance look like for you? Like, what's the goal with that?
What
So
is your definition of balanced?
yes, yes. Oh, I do that a lot. I always ask that question, like, what does this mean to you?
Yeah,
Because
because your version of, let's say, I could ask you what color is the sky. You could say blue. You could ask me, and I could say, well, there are hues of this and this, and
Mhm,
like you have
mhm,
to get really clear on
mhm,
what it means to that person. So that's
mhm.
always an important question that we like to ask because for us to dive deep, we got to know where your brain is at.
100%. And so, although in her mind she was not concerned about nutrition,
Yeah,
maybe to the level, like maybe she was speaking on like different levels, like macros, calories, all
sure.
those things. She wanted something balanced. Oh, I don't want to eat as much processed food, or I want to have more protein, want to have more veggies. So, in reality, like you are looking at your nutrition because you want it to be more balanced. So I thought that was kind of like an interesting thing. Like I've never had someone tell me like, "Oh, I don't care about it, but I want to be balanced." So we were talking, you know,
Yeah,
back and forth about it, and her goal at the end of the day was like she wants to eat less junk, which is great. I like that. She wanted to eat more protein and more veggies, and it's just having an understanding of your food, right? Like we always say, like whatever gets you in the door to exercising, to starting to take notice of your food, to better lifestyle habits, it's fine, right? Because for
yeah,
her, looking at nutrition meant she had to start weighing her food, meant she had to start
mhm,
tracking her food. But just wanting to be balanced was just like, oh, I just want to literally just eat more whole foods and less shit at the end of the day.
right, right. And I find people use the word balance because they are potentially intimidated by
Mhm,
tracking. They're intimidated by even answering that question for fear of being judged. So balance is a
mhm,
really simple answer because like you know what it means. Like if I were to say
mhm,
I follow a balanced diet, to me if I'm going to describe it, it means that I have protein at every single meal. I have a fruit or a veggie at almost every single meal. I'm not going to stand on like a superiority complex. There are some times where there is not a fruit or veggie on my plate, and that's fucking okay because sometimes it do be happening. But then for somebody else, right, it could just be like, well, I get Chipotle 4 times a week. So to be more balanced, I'm not going to get the Chipotle, or I have a soda every day to be more balanced. I'm not going to have a soda.
mhm,
And so it's that visual of like, what does that scale look like in your head? And
mhm,
that's why it is important to have these conversations because you might not need to track your food right away, right? That might not be the best place to start for your goals of being balanced. Maybe it is just cutting back on the takeout, cutting back on the soda. But then as you get really comfortable with that and you feel more confident, you can explore, oh, how much am I actually eating? Like right now that I feel my diet is more balanced, now I'm more concerned with maybe I do want to lose a couple pounds, or I want to
Mhm.
tone up, or I want to have an even better idea of what is, what I'm consuming, what's going into my body. And there's an evolution to it. I always I have my clients visualize. I'm like, you are walking up a flight of stairs. We're not going to jump from the bottom of the stairs to like the ten steps up. That you're going to
Mhm.
hurt, and you're going to fall down and it's not going to be cute. We're not going to do that. We're going to do one step at a time. Maybe when we get to the third or fourth stair, we can start doing two at a time, right? But we're
Mhm.
never going to jump from the base all the way up to the top. That doesn't make any sense. It's not going to end well. So we have to do that with our nutrition, our workouts, our water, our steps. We take it in strides. And then by the time you get to the fifth stair, you can look back and you're like, oh, wow, I have accomplished a hell of a lot. You get to the 10th stair. Wow, I've accomplished a hell of a lot. And you can change your approach as you start to get higher up those stairs because you know more, you've experienced more, you have history to look back on. Um, so, how did that conversation end, or is it still continuing?
Um, I think she kind of realized like, oh, like I am looking at my nutrition because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so you are like you want to eat, better. She downloaded my guide, Lean Body Meals guide. So that I definitely go through and talk about like what foods are good to add in and what foods, I always approach food from we're not going to think about don't eat this, don't eat
Yeah.
that. We're going to think about what we can add in because when you give yourself a list of no's, then you concentrate on those no's and obsess over them and crave them.
Yep.
So to think about adding in, it makes it a lot easier. So, I mean, whatever part of her journey she's on, like you said, it's going to be more steps. And there's no, I guess, like you don't have to be at a certain point of your journey to like do certain things, right? If you want
Hmm.
to eventually get to macro tracking, right?
Yeah.
I definitely have clients that are like, I've never tracked a macro before. I want to do that. Let's start with
Yeah.
that. And we can
Yeah.
start with that. But some people, like you said, we can start slower and ramp it up. But yeah, I think she kind of has got the understanding that like she is looking at her food and not looking at nutrition. She is looking at it. She's just not looking at it from all the way at the top of the mountain yet. She's starting at the bottom. And that's totally fine. It's wherever you
Yeah.
want to get started, and not getting worried that you have to be at a certain point because there are times too where you can go through different phases and be like, okay, right now I'm not at that level 10, right? Like when I go on vacation, I'm not tracking. When I go on vacation, I'm not weighing my food out. I go back a couple steps and just focus on my water, lots of veggies, and protein every single meal. But then
Yep.
when I come back home, because I already had that toolbox, then I can go back to tracking my macros and being more diligent. So acquiring those skills over time helps you pick the tool that makes most sense to your life. So you don't have to stay in one
Right.
tier of the level of looking at my nutrition. You can fluctuate kind of as your life fluctuates too, which I think is cool.
I agree. And the being able to be flexible is such a tool.
Hmm.
And what you just described, that some people might consider, oh, I didn't track on vacation. I fell off track,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And you would agree with me that that's not falling off track. It's
Hmm.
utilizing a different tool. It's
Hmm.
practicing that flexibility. I'm on vacation. I am not cooking all of my meals, so I don't exactly know what's going into it. But what can I do? What can I control? Oh, I can put protein on my plate. Got that.
Hmm.
I can get more veggies. Got that. I can focus on my water and my steps. Got that. If you want to take a week off of workouts, that's okay. Your body needs breaks sometimes. But then when you come back home, it's about just switching right back into the gear and not extending
Hmm.
like, oh, well, I haven't done my workouts in a week and I'll just take another couple of days off. Like, come on now. Like, there's being flexible and then there's just being lazy. And we
Hmm.
have to know the difference. And so, with some of my clients, to avoid feeling overwhelmed, like when coming back home, I'm like, the first workout, let's just do an at home workout. If you're feeling like, there's a barrier to get to the gym, work out at home. And then the next day, you'll feel a little bit better. You're back in your groove. Get your ass into the gym.
Hmm.
And then it helps because we're looking at things not as all or nothing, not as we're on track or we're off track. It's just like it is a flow, right?
Mhm.
We're
Mhm.
practicing different ways of being on track all the time.
Mhm.
Um, and that's really important because your health it shouldn't be something that's on or off. We
Yeah,
should
you
be
should.
thinking about it
Mhm.
in different capacities all the time.
Yeah, and I don't fall I used to fall under the mentality of, like, very all or nothing, and, like, when I was
Yeah.
on vacation, it was, like, balls to the walls, like, "Let's gorge ourselves, let's eat shit," whatever. But that doesn't allure to me anymore because,
Yeah.
1, I feel way better when I'm just taking care of my body in
Yeah.
general. Even on vacation, like, I do like to walk if we're, like, at a beach, like, I'm walking the beach, like, I
It
love
just
doing that.
feels good.
It does.
Get some
Um,
fucking sunlight, touch some grass.
literally. It feels good to be more hydrated. It feels good to be having a big salad and, like, having a consistent bowel movement every day,
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to be constipated on vacation.
100%, that's not cute.
No.
So it's not cute. So I know for me, I'm just gonna do what feels good in my body, so I just feel better in general, and also because I'm not restricting myself on the regular, I don't feel the need to go like, "I'm gonna do everything I don't do," you
Right.
know? When you practice allowing yourself to have these things, like for my birthday dinner, like, I'm gonna be having gluten, I'm gonna be having probably dairy, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like, "This is the only time I can ever have this, so I need to finish every
Yep.
single bite on my plate, and I need to feel so full I cannot walk." I've done that. I felt like crap, and I wanted to, like, explode and die. I don't do that
Yeah.
anymore because it doesn't attract me. Like, I'll probably take home a lot of it and give it to my parents. Like, "You guys can have it if you want it, if you don't." Like, it doesn't hurt me to not eat all the food. I
Yeah.
feel better. I'm able to have different things, try different stuff, and it just opens up like a whole new like pathway to what you're doing. Like, great example, I had a client that went on 2 back-to-back international trips, like had like a day in between and then went again somewhere else. And after that, she was like, "This just opened my eyes to what I could be doing for so many years is traveling and still maintaining my habits." Like, she did
Yep.
body weight workouts, she got steps in, she drank water, she ate protein, she got in veggies when she could. Her measurements went down, her stress was way down. She really enjoyed the trip.
Yep.
She came back and her weight was like basically the same. Like, I don't even think
Yeah.
it was up
Yeah.
because of what we just talked about. She just picked a different lower, I don't want to say lower, just
I
a
think it's
different,
just like different frequency. Like instead of
yeah,
viewing it as like up and down, lower, higher, just like you're
yes.
picking a
Mhm.
scale.
Yeah, pick something that felt better for her at the time and allowed her to not worry about it. She wasn't worried about tracking when she was away, in Europe. And she was like, "This just opens up so much for me to do now, like a whole new world." I'm like, and that's the power of not shaming yourself for not being
Yeah.
able to operate at the same level you were operating when you were home, but
Yeah.
then having in your mind, like, I can still do these things while enjoying life and not let my weight get out of control.
Right. It's so powerful because even I think about we do this vacation every year. There's a lot of us that go to this house. Um, and there's a lot of hiking, kayaking. I fucking hate kayaking. I will die on that hill, but I'll do it. I hate it, but I'll do it. There's a lot of pool time. We do like ATVs, whatever. A good portion of the meals we cook at home. We're all together, blah, blah, blah.
Wait,
Even if,
pause. Why
yeah,
does this feel like I'm watching an episode of Summer House?
yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, basically. I mean, the house is so fucking vibey. Like, I feel like a kid at summer camp. It's so fun. It's adult summer camp. There's summer camp with booze.
Mhm,
So even though I could track every morsel because we're cooking a lot of the food, or when I go out to dinner, I can track. Like, give me a meal,
mhm,
I'll fucking show you how to track it. But
mhm,
for those 7, 9 days, I either will track just calories and focus on
mhm,
my protein, or I just put the phone down and I'm like, you know what? This is a really great time to refresh and practice those tools that you know you have, picking
mhm,
smarter options. If I want to get a skinny margarita, I'll probably opt for a salad with some protein, right?
mhm,
Or I'll get a taco, like tacos, and I won't have rice. If
Mhm.
I want to have a s'mores or two, I'll probably not have like the third glass of wine. It's
Mhm.
about looking at where you can kind of make compromises so
Mhm.
that you can enjoy yourself, but you don't come back being like a bloated ass balloon and you're like, oh wow, I have done a lot of damage. Like that's not a
Mhm.
good feeling.
Yeah.
And so those are always like reset weeks for me. I feel so good. I've every time I've come back, it's like my weight is the same or it's slightly down because movement is high, stress is low. Even
Mhm.
though there's probably more alcohol that week, I'm not being a dick with my food. It's not like, let's just have a bunch of like burgers and fries and pizza. It's like we actually make like a beautiful salad, some grilled
Mhm.
chicken. I don't eat red meat, but the steaks are there. We'll do fish. Like it's all really good food. And we don't have to be indulgent with just like shit all the time. You can make a beautiful meal. It can have lots of veggies, good protein, and it can taste really good. Like I'm over the rhetoric that like healthy food is boring.
Yeah, no, I've
I
been
hate
eating
that conversation. I'm like,
I
what?
do too. I've been eating a bomb salad every night. It has
Love a bomb salad.
pumpkin seeds, it has microgreens, regular salad, tomatoes, celery, onions, shaved carrot.
Mm,
I'll put a protein in there from whatever I'm eating for that. I had like egg whites in it last night. It was good. Um,
that's where you lose me. Egg whites in a salad kill me.
goat cheese, olive
Love.
oil.
You brought me back. Love the goat cheese.
I love goat cheese. I could just I get
Eat
it's
a
like a
block of
2
goat cheese.
oh, I get a 2 log pack
Yep.
from Costco. It's 8.99. They're like big logs. So good.
I could sit and eat that in bed with
Oh
like
yeah,
a little bit of like what do you call it?
compote,
No, like the meat.
the meat.
Yeah, prosciutto.
Oh, ah, man, I can't remember the last time I had prosciutto.
I mean, like it definitely makes me bloat because it's like super salty, but I'm just like, bitch, I'll be chugging the water, not a problem. I will have prosciutto, a little nice cracker moment with some goat cheese, some grapes, like
Oh, that's gonna be my first meal when I go back to Italy. 100%.
yes, yes. And like even in this moment, you guys, we're talking about this food that's indulgent, but we have these tools to
Mhm,
allow us to say, okay, I am full, right?
mhm,
I can stop. Let me
mhm,
get in my water. Let me make sure that I have eaten throughout the day. So I'm not just going to gorge myself on cheese and meats because I'm hungry, right? Like,
mhm,
and that's just like, that's how you enjoy your life. You prioritize your health. Like, this is the balance that we refer to.
mhm.
Ugh, wow. Now I'm
100%.
like really craving goat cheese. I just, oh, so
Sorry
good.
for,
No, it's
doing
fine. I mean, I never apologize because I do have to do a little grocery run because James is going on a work trip this weekend for like this weekend to like mid next week. So I need to just pick up groceries so that I can meal prep for myself because if I'm home alone, like I'll be lazy. I'll just be like, I'll just have yogurt. Like I'll just be lazy because I'm like, it's just me. But it's like, bitch, care about yourself. So I'm gonna meal prep a bunch of chicken for the crock pot. I have potatoes. I'll roast potatoes. I'll get some broccoli and carrots and I have salad. It'll just be like cute little meal moments with Allie and the boys, my babies. And
I love.
that's it. Last question. When you're home alone, do you like shut down the house early and go to bed early? Because like you are scared of the like I'm scared of the dark. Like our house has a lot of windows.
Oh, yeah, it does. I've seen it in
It's a
here.
lot of windows. So like I don't like to be, and I would do this in Vermont too, because like our apartment was a good size. But I like I'll shut down the house at 7. And so I'll have my dinner at 6:30. I'll jump in the shower and then I'll take like a snack with me and I'll just like sit in bed or read or watch TV or FaceTime. And I'm like, the bed is headquarters. Like if I have to go to the bathroom, that's fine. But like I don't want to be sitting in the living room. Like I get all scared. I don't know.
Uh,
I have
um,
problems.
yeah, when I'm house sitting, I sometimes think about that, like, like noises, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah,
But yeah, it depends where I am. If I'm, like, super
true.
comfortable with where I am, like, I'm fine, but if I'm, like, by myself in somewhere I don't know, that's a different
Yeah.
story. Uh,
Yeah.
But yeah, but also locked and loaded, so, like, I'm not too scared, but, like, I feel protected.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I just like I that's why like James and I was talking about this. We wanted to get he thinks it's great timing and everybody will tell you this. I'm like, fuck you guys. Literally take your opinions and shove them up your ass.
Mhm.
When you have a baby, it's a great time to get a puppy. Are you coming over to my house to take care of a newborn and a puppy?
Yeah,
No, that sounds like the dumbest thing ever because no, no,
yeah,
no, no, no. So, and I'm like, I'm not disrupting my cats' lives. Like
that's
they're
a
not
lot.
used to having a dog. I am not doing that until I can't say it, but until we can get a dog, right? We'll get a dog when we can get a dog, and we're not getting a dog to disrupt these beautiful boys' lives. But I
Mhm.
can't wait until we do have a dog because we will have scary dog privilege.
Yeah.
So we'll either have a boxer or a shepherd. And they just give you scary dog privilege. And as like
Mhm.
a scared girl constantly, I just can't wait for that because my cats do shit like that. Like, what are they gonna do? Fucking run?
Yeah, no,
They're like
cats aren't no.
I like my friend's cat like kind of throws hands. Like his name's Jerome. He'll they have a pit bull and they have a German shepherd and he will throw hands with both of the dogs. Like
Oh, I
he
love that.
he is scrappy as fuck. What are my cats gonna do? They that when someone rings the doorbell, they like and like run. I'm like, you guys are embarrassing.
Uh,
Anyway, to wrap it up,
mhm.
closing thoughts. Anything you have to add?
Um, well, at the time we're recording this, I have not fully figured out what I'm doing yet, but I do have some birthday deals coming. If you want to get first dibs on it, since this will be coming out before my birthday, um, go ahead.
I just said yes.
Oh, active listening. Message me BDAY and you'll get first dibs on that. All right, since it's January 24th right now, my brain has not computed what those are going to be yet. But they will be for little slices of one-on-one coaching. So
Mm,
DM me B-Day for that, just for the pod listeners.
just for the pod listeners, have you ever seen New Girl?
Yes.
29, 29.
That's where we're at. I'm getting old.
I made my
I
sister a
love it.
29 birthday cake when she turned 29, and I bought a 6 candle, not a 9. So that's where it was. But I love that. I love
Mhm,
that. I have no concluding thoughts other than when you're sitting down and you're thinking about balanced fitness, a balanced diet, right? Like, I just want balanced. Think
mhm,
about what you actually mean,
mhm,
right? Because when we can take the word, like this kind of figurative, I want balance, when we can take it figuratively and like put it down pen to paper, you are going to be far more successful than just walking around saying, I have a balanced diet. I just want a balanced relationship with food. Like, what does that
mhm,
mean? That is very fluffy and it's
mhm,
safe. But to
mhm,
put it pen to paper to get specific, it can feel
mhm,
a bit intimidating, but that is where you actually see change because you can look and say, oh, balance to me means more protein, more vegetables in my diet,
bullet point
less,
that bitch.
right, less going out and getting a breakfast sandwich and a coffee on my way to work every morning, right? So it allows you to be concrete and actually see progress
Mhm,
versus living in the safeness, in the fluff, and wondering why things aren't changing, even though you're following a balanced diet. So those are
mhm,
that's my biggest point to hit on because a
mhm.
lot of you will relate to that. I know you will. And so put this into practice as you're listening to the pod. We're wrapping up here. Sit down as you're finishing this. Take 5 minutes and just journal. What does a balanced diet or a balanced workout routine, what does that mean to you?
What do you wanna achieve?
Yep. Yep.
Because you no balance is fluffy. Give us
Yep. It's
concrete
safe.
things, concrete things. So you know exactly what you're doing, you're not spending more time being like, "I just want to achieve this, but I don't even know what it means."
Yep. It's like saying, I want to save money or spend less money and then not having a plan.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to
Go
the
back.
January episode with Jen. We talk about making a budget. That's our
Oh,
guest
yeah, we
episode
do.
in
That one was
January.
good.
That was a good episode. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. Please make sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, share with your girlfriend who needs to hear this. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere where you can stream podcasts. If you have a burning question about life, friendship, health, and 1 or 2 cents, email us at kindahotpod@gmail.com. That's KINDAHOTPUD@gmail.com. Bye.
Bye.